seriously, all of us who are in our 30s and above, you know, when you're in your 20s looking for a job, you're still like, majority is still like, I have no idea what I want to do with my life. Career. Thanks for coming back to another fantastic, wonderful, again, Zoomiful episode. We're excited to bring you some more interesting topics. My name is MJ.
My name is Adam.
And today we'll be covering a little interesting news article that I found, everyone.
All right.
It's news time. So, everyone, there is a really popular news column, a web news article that is popular with a lot of Westerners, I believe.
So,
a lot of people outside of Japan,
who
also
are interested in
Westerners.
Japan.
Yeah, Westerners living in Japan. There is a Japanese version of the site as well as an all-English version, maybe even other versions, who knows.
Probably.
But this is a very interesting, great news site called Sora News 24. Some of you might know it. They have a lot of tongue-in-cheek or edgy kind of news articles that show maybe the dark side of Japan, or sometimes the super fun, crazy side you never thought of. But it's really interesting. So this is what we'll be pulling most of this news from because it's just so good and we want to share it with all you guys.
Yeah.
So this one article that I found, the top headline is Japanese son tells parents he wants to quit his job. They give the best possible response.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So what happens to this young man? In Japan, there's a saying that commonly comes up if someone is talking about how they don't like their job. Toriaizu sannen. Loosely translated to, just give it 3 years.
Oh, okay. Not like
with the implication... Right. Yeah, sannen. Right. I when I first read it, I was like, did they make a typo?
Right.
Toriaizu sannen.
Stick with your job.
Toriaizu sannen. Okay. And with the implication being that you shouldn't quit any job until you've worked for 3 years, so that you won't end up with a resume that makes you look lazy or flighty or whiny, like you're just going to dip out, or otherwise indesirable for potential future employers, right? Makes sense.
It does.
To a point, you know?
Right.
What happens in this little article, this story of this one person who is just an SNS handle.
Okay.
But it's a 22-year-old working adult.
Yeah.
And he recently decided that he's had enough of his job and he wants to talk with his parents and let him know. So what you can see in the article is the actual conversation through a messaging app between him and the parents.
Oh, okay. And
it starts with just like, it says like, "Gomen, I can't work here anymore. Yeah, sorry, like I can't do this anymore."
Yeah.
And first dad's response is, "What happened? Is it like kitsuii? Kitsuii? Like, is it too tough for you? Like, what happened?"
Yeah.
And then so he had no response. And the next response comes from the dad is, we're going to stop it right there. Adam, what do you think the dad said?
I'm guessing, considering the introduction, Toriaizu sannen, no?
Yeah.
Or zannen. One of the two.
What the dad says next is, okay, just hurry up, quit, and come home.
Oh.
What? We quit and come home? I thought he was going to be like, yo, you got to like stick it out a few more years. Maybe there's just this one little problem. Like you got to fight and like, gaman suru.
Yeah. Ganbatte.
Yeah. Get through it. We're here to support you, but like you can't just quit. Yeah. And then the mom follows with a little like emoji.
Oh, okay.
That's just like yokai, like I gotcha. Like, okay, no worries. Just come back home and chill.
Wow.
Yeah. And the mom gives a response. This is all in Japanese, and the website pretty much translates it for me so I can read it off easily to all you people.
Yeah.
You don't really know if something is for you or not until you've tried it, right?
True.
You've given it enough effort. Please give yourself some emotional rest, says mom.
Oh.
Well, thank you, Mom. That makes me feel really great, right?
But do you think this is some kind of reverse psychology where they get him to think like, wow, my parents are so accepting of me wanting to quit my job. Maybe I should stay longer.
No. How does that work?
I
That
don't
would
know.
not make me feel like I should stay.
Well, he says gomen. So like when you apologize before saying your case, you automatically presume yourself guilty of something, right? Like, I'm
Yes.
sorry. Sorry for what? I'm gonna quit my job.
Yes.
Expecting them to say, no, don't do it. But
Right.
in the opposite, they said, come home.
We'll take care of you.
We'll
Don't
take care
worry.
of you with open arms. And he might be like, this sounds suspicious.
Come on, it's mom and dad.
That's true.
Nothing's gonna be suspicious unless they run their own company, like at
true,
home,
yeah.
and they're like, "Sweet, now you're gonna work for us, son."
Yes, yeah.
We needed some extra hands,
Right? That's probably another thing that happens too.
Yeah. So he posted this on Twitter to
Yeah.
show other people, and they were all like, "Wow, you have such a wonderful family that's there to support you and take care of you. Such good people. Like,
Right.
wow, I wish my parents were like that." So it's interesting to see. Now, this is a young 22-year-old kid who is getting into the world and trying to find what he wants to do.
Right.
And I agree with these people praising his parents, because seriously, all of us who are in our 30s and above, you know, when you're in your 20s looking for a job, you're still like, majority is still like, I have no idea what I want to do with my life. Honestly, career.
I think that happens after you graduate, or if you finish school. Once you're done school, like, because in school, you're kind of in like a daze of like happiness. Some people sadness. Hopefully they can get over it and you know, become happy too. But most of the things, we're not thinking about the future. And then you get out and you're like, oh, I used to have a place to go every day, and I used to have lunch every day, but now I have to do it all by myself. This is weird and strange. I'm not used to this. I don't like this at all.
I totally hear you. And I think that's where it's like, we don't know nothing. Everyone, if you're in college right now and you're in a university, like, majority, again, not everybody, but I'm gonna say like a good 90% of you really are still like, I don't know what I want to do. Or you get into working in that field that you've studied so hard in, and you realize, like, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. Like, there's like something about it, like, it's just not clicking. I'm not happy. Like, oh, but then there's so much that is like put in the Japanese, like, at least from what I've heard, just the scheduling of learning how to do this, whatever, like studying what you want to do, and then doing all of like the job hunting lessons of how you should like behave, do these how you should behave, how you should look,
how you should look,
even for people going to study how to go to an interview, like what you're supposed to say, what you're supposed to look like,
how you enter the room.
There's such a route that is set in stone of what you should do. So if you're a student going through that, I could see how easily it is to kind of forget about your heart, as cliche as that sounds, like, and what you really want to do, right? Because it's just like, just follow the rules. Like, I'll just do whatever they tell. Okay, they say go here now. All right, now I got to go here and got to do this. Like, okay. I feel people can get stuck, and then that's when something's gonna hit the fan.
Oh yeah,
you can be like, so I don't like this job.
You can find out really quickly, or it can take some time. And the ones who take time usually end up really hating their job. And by that time, it might be too late, because who knows, you might have a family to support, or you might, you know, have some kind of change in your lifestyle that requires you to work. You have no choice now.
Exactly.
He's very lucky to have parents who are willing to support him and take him back home. Some parents, of course, will give you that, like, you should be working right now. You're at the age to work. So ganbatte for 3 years, and don't complain because you're an adult now. I mean, like, even in North America, a lot of kids, like at 18, are sometimes required to live on their own. And even after high school or after university, like, a lot of kids have to live and figure it out. And then once they figure it out, they're under pressure of trying to be adults.
That's what it's turned into.
We're not really trained in school or wherever we go to deal with all this stuff either. And then to perform after that. and it's really weird.
It is. It is.
And it can be tough.
So I think it's really interesting.
Yeah.
If you are someone who's going through it right now and watching this, I'm sorry to say you're probably not going to really get it until you've passed the point.
Right.
Because that's, it's just like all of our parents when you're growing up and mom's like, don't touch that fire, you're going to get burned. And you're like, okay, mom. But for some reason, you're like, I got to touch the fire.
It's glowing.
So no matter how many times someone warns you about something, you don't know until you personally do it yourself. It happens to you. And then it's the real wake up call. So
one thing I do want to point out, though, is that I don't like the fact that if you are trying to figure it out and then you have a history of trying to figure it out on your resume, like companies don't realize that maybe they're going to be the place where you figure out what you want to figure out. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like he quit his job because it's not for him, and that's fine. That's like perfect. Like you shouldn't do something that you don't want to do just because you feel like you should, right?
Right.
Or you think that it's going to ruin your future of trying to figure it out, like trying to do what you want to do. So So the companies in the future should change their way of thinking. Like if they see a person with a lot of history changing jobs, they should ask like, why did you change jobs? And if the person says, well, I'm still trying to figure it out, they should at least give them the chance.
Yeah, they should, but you know what business is all about, dude.
This
what it's about. this. So we don't have time to hire somebody, train them for them just to leave,
to figure it out
and
then leave.
You know,
so,
it's a tough one.
Tough.
It's a tough path to go, but definitely you got to try and just be grateful for all that supportive people that you have in your life, your friends, your family. Everyone, even me and Adam here, we're here to support you too.
Oh yeah.
So that's all the time we have for today, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something out of it. Hoping it opened up your mind a little bit to question something that you thought was normal or learn something new.
Yeah. And of course, if you have any comments or questions, remember to type them out in the comments section. Let us know because we'll respond. We have some time now.
Yeah. So, right. I was thinking, like, as we were talking about this, I'm like, this is kind of hitting home a little bit, this topic. But in any case, everyone, SNS, we have a few accounts. Go in the description down below and click some of those links if you want to see what we're doing back behind the scenes type stuff. Really cool. But thanks for giving us your time. But hey, that's all the time for the MJ and Adam Show.
Peace.
Peace.